Well, welcome everyone, and just a little bit of a frustration going on here and there, but just to give you an idea of what's going on. So what I want to talk about today is the Myki system that we use here in Victoria for our public transport. Some few years ago, our glorious state government decided they wanted to introduce something like the Hong Kong and London systems, the Oyster system, or similar to that. And rather than go and buy the technology from overseas, we spent billions and billions of dollars developing a very second-rate system indeed. Very rarely do I travel on public transport. I live on the outskirts of Melbourne, and car is really the only way you can get around. But the other day I had a meeting in the city, and parking there is absolutely horrendous. Even if you can find a car park, you can hardly afford to pay the money to stay there. So I thought that I would park about 10 or 15 kilometres away from the meeting site in an area where there's plenty of off-street parking, and catch a tram into the meeting and then catch it back later in the day. Now, this sounded perfectly fine. I did have a Myki card. You have to buy a Myki card, by the way. It doesn't come with any credit. That is just the value of the card. You still have to put credit on yourself. And I went down and made sure I had plenty of credit on my Myki card, which I use as a concession card, of course, being a senior. And I got on the tram, and I'm very happy to report that I put my card next to the card reader, and it read it and beeped, which indicated it was pretty happy. And there's also a little screen on there that tells you how much money you've got left. This is brilliantly designed. In a sense, it's an extremely pale LED screen, which is impossible to read, and it's only there for a few microseconds, even if you could read it. However, that's not really what I'm on about. So, having done the right thing and touched on, as it's called, and was ready to touch off when I got off at my meeting place, I watched the other passengers boarding, and I would say no more than 20% of the people that boarded actually touched their cards on. Now, this was was about 10:30 in the morning, so almost certainly it was their first trip of the day. They had to touch on, and they didn't. 80% of people on that tram did not bother to touch on. Absolutely extraordinary. We do have flying squads of ticket inspectors, I guess is the nicest thing you can call them, who do charge people with either not touching on or not having their concession card, either students or seniors card with them. But obviously the folk that are on trams regularly understand the chances of being caught are extremely slim, and they're making the most of it. I can't really blame them. I mean, it's a stupid system. On the trams, at least. On the trains, it's probably more difficult to get away without paying. Still possible, but certainly on the trams it seems dead easy. The fine for being caught by the flying squad is $229. The average daily fee is about $8.20, so after about 26 days, if you can get away without paying for 26 days, you are well and truly in front. So if you're not being caught every 5 weeks or so, which seems extremely unlikely, the chances are that you're going to be way in front. And I'd say many people have woken up to this. It's not a good system for the state. We're obviously losing money hand over fist. There must be a better way of doing it than the system which we have at the moment. On the buses, it's almost impossible not to pay your, or at least not to touch your card on, because you go past the driver and they know what's happening there. Although if you get at the back of the bus, I guess that you don't have to. So it's really an honest system, and sadly, human nature being what it is, that doesn't work all that often. This was the case, by the way, going both directions in the morning at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and in the evening about 4 o'clock. Our system is called Myki. It's a Mickey Mouse system, and people have woken up to it. Very sad. Well done, state government of both persuasions. And that's all I've got to say on this topic. But I'll be back. Take care. Bye.